Okay, so PlayStation Portal. This is a really cool device, but at the same time, it's quite confusing. Where does it fit into the lineup of what PlayStation does? And in terms of gaming and handheld gaming system out there, where does this actually fit in? The answer is in the title in terms of what this is actually called. It's literally a portal into your gaming console, namely your Sony PlayStation 5 that you've got at home. This is literally a portal to be able to play all your games that you've got on your console at home, anywhere in the world, as long as you've got a really good Wi-Fi connectivity where you are. And that's literally all this is. And that's why, as well as having a whole lot of hype about it, is also the reason why a lot of people are confused as to whether to get one or not for around £200 or $200. You're looking at it and thinking, is it worth the price tag? So the device itself is really nice in terms of the design. I love what they've done here. It's literally, they've looked at your DualShock, if I can speak, controller for the PS5. They've looked at it, sliced it in half, and basically slapped a display, 8-inch full HD display right in the middle of it. This is LCD display, so it's not OLED or anything like that. It can go up to 60 frames per second, which is more than enough for most of the games that you play on here. I've been playing Spider-Man 2 on here remotely, which is really good. I have no issues with it at all. But we'll talk more about some of the negatives and some of the issues I've had with this. But that aside, the controller itself gives you the same sort of experience that you get with your DualShock controller, namely that haptic feedback, you know, those little vibration and all that stuff that you get when you're gaming with some games. The game that I'm playing on here, the Spider-Man 2, you can actually feel the vibrations and the haptic feedback, etc. when you're gaming. So it's really good. It's very familiar, so if you own a Sony PlayStation 5 already and you use the DualShock controller, it's very familiar. What's missing on here is obviously that trackpad that you normally get in the middle, but you get that in form of a display type of thing. So especially when you're playing Spider-Man 2, there's some options where you have to swipe on there to be able to access those options. And without having those, you get the on-screen sort of trackpad, which can be awkward at times, but it does the job. It's actually quite responsive as well once you figure it out. But aside from that, it works really well. The controllers are very familiar, like I said. On the back, we get the volume rocker. We got a speaker there, which is quite loud, actually. It's actually quite decent. Got your power button. You got, I think it's I'm not sure what the other button is, but anyway, underneath it you get your USB-C ports and a 3.5mm headphone jack. So again, this doesn't support Bluetooth audio, but you can connect the Sony PlayStation 1s that's just come out or due to come out, I'm not sure. You can connect those, you can connect that to the portal. So that's basically it. So it's nice and simple, nice and sleek. I love what they've done with it. It's nice and lightweight as well for a prolonged period of gaming. It doesn't cause any issues, apart from the fact that the controller feels weird with a screen in the middle. So after a long period of time, your fingers start to ache and you get this fatigue. So talking about that, the battery life as well will last you about 8 hours. So all day battery life in terms of gaming. So that's really good. But you're not going to be gaming for that long because, again, the fatigue sort of kicks in and you feel the ache in there. So you need to put it down and take a break and then come back to it. Or whatever. But that's basically it. It doesn't do anything else other than being a portal. It doesn't run its own thing. There's no interface. There's no web browser. You can't install things on it, which is why some people are a bit like, well, why would I need to get one of these? But you have to think the price point is not that bad. For $200, I mean, I was saying on Twitter that the max that I would pay for this is about £100. But I think after using it for so long now, it's actually something that I carry with me now everywhere. $200 is not bad at all. It does need a carry case though in the packaging, which it doesn't come with. It just comes with the cable to charge the USB-C cable, and that's about it, and some user manual, warranty information, and all that stuff. But besides that, it's basically this thing. It's nice and simple. All you need is a really good internet connectivity, and a little note on the Sony website says it requires broadband Wi-Fi with at least 5 megabits per second or megabytes, Mbps, or high-speed connectivity at 15 meg sort of internet speed. So you need something more on the side of the 15 meg to be able to get that level of connectivity that's not lagging and there's no latency issues at all. So that's pretty cool. So how this works is basically it basically mirrors your Sony PlayStation 5, and once it mirrors it, you'll be able to play what you can see on your TV, you'll be able to see that on here. Where that comes in handy is if you're a family guy, for example, and you've got kids who wants to watch TV and you want a game at the same time, or even vice versa, you want to watch TV but they want a game, they can have this and game on this, or you can use this and game whilst they watch TV. What you can't do though is if you have the PS5 and you want to do something else, maybe stream like Sky or set top box on there, for example, or just watch football or whatever, on the PS5, you won't be able to do that at the same time because it's mirrored. So what I'm doing on here is exactly what's happening back in London. I'm actually in LA right now. So whatever I'm seeing on this screen right now is what's happening back home in London if you was to be connected to my TV. This only supports Wi-Fi 5, which is another issue when it comes to bandwidth, but I think it's okay so far, but it would have been nice to have Wi-Fi 6 or even something Wi-Fi 6E for better bandwidth connectivity. Some of the negatives that I also had with this is things like the way that it connects to your Wi-Fi. So for example, if you're in a hotel where you need to have a web browser to enter your login or room number or something like that to get on the internet, you wouldn't be able to do that on here. If someone knows how to get around that, let me know in the comments below. Another thing is I really wanted to game on my flight all the way over here, connect to the internet, but again, because of that paywall, there's no browser in here to access that paywall to be able to enter all my banking details to then log in, buy internet connectivity access, and then connect this to the internet and game whilst I was on my flight. So I couldn't do that either. I can connect to my phone and tether off there, which works when I'm out and about, when there's no Wi-Fi connectivity, that's reliable. I can connect via 5G and it works really well. Some things that you will notice though is the sustained connection on here. So what I mean by this is basically you get, once you start loading the game at first, the graphics is not there. So it's almost like it's buffering. And once it's gained a solid connectivity, you then get really good display quality on this. When I'm playing Spider-Man 2, then it looks really good. But once you start playing it for a while, and then you start noticing sometimes it just drops connection and then slowly builds back that connection again. So it's not fully sustained throughout. So sometimes you will still notice some artifacting, you still notice some glitch here and there and some latency issues, but then it quickly picks it back up again. So there's no issues there when it comes to actually not really affecting your gaming experience. But I think overall, really, really good product. It would have been nice to be able to do more with this than just being a portal or remote play device, because you can get a clip-on to your current DualShock controller and use something like the Galaxy S23 Ultra in here, just download the remote play app and then just game that way as well. But what you would miss out on is just that one simple system that's already there. You don't have to do faffing around with other things. It's just one device to carry it around with you, and you're good to go. So that's basically it. That's my experience with it since I've been using it. And I think the main takeaway for me is as long as you have a really good Wi-Fi connectivity or internet connectivity in general, you'll be able to game anywhere in the world and access your PlayStation 5. I know some people are asking, do I need to leave my PS5 on all the time? You do have to have it on, but what PS5 does back home, for example, for me, is it will go into standby mode, so low energy mode, which means when I then power this on, this would automatically power on my PS5 at home. And then when I'm not using it, when I haven't used it for a while, it will power down again. So that's no issue at all when it comes to energy consumption, as well as being able to connect with the PS5 on or off, which is something else I think if you were to use a clip-on system or other devices, you would be losing out on. You wouldn't get that same feature, I believe. But that's basically about it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any questions, drop them there as well. I'll do my best to answer those questions. But I think, yeah, cool device. I think I'm definitely going to keep this one, and I recommend looking into it if you really want to game and take your gaming experience anywhere in the world with you. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If this is your first time around here, please do subscribe and hit the like and share it as well. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.